Mbekezeli Benjamin is with Judges Matter, a researcher there that has been tracking, in fact, the process towards the appointment of a new Deputy Chief Justice for the country. Mbekezeli joining us, I believe, as always, from Cape Town tonight. Let's get your reading first, Mbekezeli, of the appointment tonight of the Judge President Dunstan Mlambo to become Deputy Chief Justice. Is this a good choice from the President?
Yes, it is a very good choice, Mbekezeli. Judge President Mlambo is experienced. He has been in the judiciary for well over 20 years, and particularly in a leadership and management role, which is what we need right now in terms of the role of Deputy Chief Justice is to assist the Chief Justices in managing the judiciary, particularly at a crucial time. Right now, the judiciary, as the President announced last month, the judiciary is trying to now establish its own institutional independence. And so it needs a steady hand at the leadership level. And I think that Justice Mlambo would be a very good complement to Chief Justice Maya in leading that process.
And how do you expect he will change, or at least add to the way in which the Constitutional Court's bench functions at the moment?
Well, it's something that he said already in his interview early this month, where he said the first thing that he will do when he gets to the Constitutional Court is to convince the judges to use the court online system. He says he wants a paperless system because currently the judges of the Constitutional Court still rely on tugging around pieces of paper. And so he wants that system to be up and running at the court. And of course, that will help the efficiency of the court, because some of my colleagues at the University of Cape Town have done research over the last 10 years to show that the Constitutional Court is weak administratively, and that unfortunately impacts on how long it takes to process some of the cases. And so we do expect that once that electronic system is up and running, they will be able to move cases much faster than they currently do.
It also hasn't been a smooth journey to this point for Judge President Mlambo, has it, Mbekezeli? Because in 2022, in that round of interviews, he was actually quite upset, I think, to say the least, when the interview basically went into what were described at the time as unsubstantiated rumors of sexual harassment. He also spoke about a judiciary that was facing an increasingly politically polarized position.
Yes, so the allegations that he said he was ambushed with at the JSC in 2022, that I think was a low moment for the JSC itself as an institution. And in fact, immediately after those interviews, the JSC has now set up proper processes. If there are allegations that have been made against any candidate for judicial office, that process has now been revised to say those allegations must be substantiated and the candidate must be given an opportunity to reply. And it was important, therefore, earlier this month, the JSC made it clear to Judge Mlambo that those allegations that were put to him in 2022, they were not substantiated. They are removed from the record and should never have been put to him. And so I think he took it with the spirit that it has long passed, and he's now looking forward to being in the role. And I think even as a person, one of the things that he mentioned in his interview, but also others mentioned, is that he's a leader who's able to bring everyone together. In the High Court in Gauteng, it's one of the busiest courts in the country, and obviously the biggest court with about 84 judges in that court. And it's also surprisingly one of the most collegial. And so we hope that even when he takes up this role of Deputy Chief Justice, he will be able to lead the judiciary as an institution to be much more united and collegial, of course, to the benefit of the broader public who rely on the courts.
And in what ways do you think his absence will be felt from the Gauteng division of the High Court? Because he was praised quite a lot for the introduction of case law, or his case file, I think it was, at the time, and other ways in which what you were saying, in fact, earlier about how busy of a court this is. He had implemented measures in which he was hoping to see the administration of justice through that court move faster so that people aren't denied justice as a result of a long wait.
Yeah, look, there will be a gap in terms of Judge Mlambo leaving Gauteng. He has been judge president for the last 13 years. That's a very long time in the judiciary, and he's led quite important initiatives to improve the efficiency of that court and make sure that it delivers on its mandate. But he doesn't leave in a vacuum. The Gauteng High Court is lucky. I mean, right now, as we speak, Deputy Judge President Lidwaba, who's the Deputy Judge President in Pretoria, is acting in the position of Judge President, and he will continue to act for until the position is substantively filled. At the same time, there is a strong leadership core at the Gauteng High Courts, and so there will be none of the projects that will fall through the cracks. I think they will still be carried forward, and I'm hoping that they will be carried forward with the same energy that Judge Mlambo brought when he was Judge President.
And the system I was referring to then, Mbekezeli, is case lines. I think you know it better. It's a virtual case management system which allows for the filing and processing of court documents online. Final question to you. Today also marked the retirement of the acting Deputy Chief Justice, Madlanga, who's going to take on what is likely to be a more contested role when he chairs the Judicial Commission of Inquiry into the allegations of abuse of power as well as corruption in the country's law enforcement space, even the judiciary as well. How do you think Madlanga is likely to fare, considering that now the real work is expected to begin? What do you think will be the hurdles in that new role?
Well, look, Justice Madlanga is an excellent judge, and as we heard from the tribute speeches from everyone who spoke today, they commended his work ethic, his attention to detail, his humility, and an ability to work with different people, regardless of how old or how young. And so we hope that he will bring some of that energy when he goes into this new role of a commission of inquiry, not a judicial commission, but it's a commission of inquiry. We hope that he will go into that role, bringing some of that work. Already we've seen one week after he was appointed, he was able to assemble a formidable team of lawyers to do this work. And so we look forward that in the next 3 months at least, they will be able to deliver an interim report that will at least shed some light into these very serious allegations that have been made by General Mkhonazi.
Mbekezeli Benjamin, good to talk to you on one of the two breaking stories tonight. That is the appointment of a new Deputy Chief Justice in the country, Dunstan Mlambo.